Working at a startup makes you a strong fighter that we should not give up. And personally, I feel that me, after working with this startup, Fibro Hill, and remembering how we started and where we are today in a 7 years of journey. The journey has been wonderful, and I am glad to happy that I took this journey.
Welcome to Bharat Startup Talks by Bhayapatrika. Myself, Dr. Taruneet Kaur, your host for today. Today we are having our guest, Mr. Pranav Kumar Trimathi. Mr. Pranav is basically dealing with the business development and marketing at Fibro Heal Wound Care Private Limited. Fibro Heal is basically a startup which is working with silk proteins to develop biomaterials for medical use. Welcome, Mr. Pranav. I like to ask you for introducing yourself and what is your current role, please.
Thanks, Tarneet. I am Pranav Tripathi. Namaste. I am Pranav Tripathi. I am a postgrad in entomology. A subject, it's a branch of zoology which is dealing in the studies of insect. And being a postgrad in entomology, I was interested and keen to know the various applications of the waste to value and waste to value, and that was excited me when I heard about the Fibro Hill, that Fibro Hill doing something from the silk. I trusted the senior leaders and felt great potential, and it led to me the becoming the employee number 3 of the Fibro Hill. Since I have completed my management also, I was able to utilize my classroom learnings of MSc to create a Fibro Hill brand in the North India. And I feel proud that we are establishing the concept of the wound healing through utilizing the silk.
It's really great to know about your profile and you being employee number 3 at Fibro Heal. And next, I really like to ask you one question. Why you preferred a startup setup over a well-established companies these days?
It's very good questions. Actually, a startup like Fibrol is more flexible, gives more challenges and opportunities, which is not there in established company. I am someone who likes taking challenge, and that's why Fibroil opportunities was blessing in disguise, that I was doing something which I studied in my MSc. As I told you that I'm an entomology student, and made me living it out of it. Management trusted me and my abilities, and I delivered it. I feel great to be here discussing about my journey of Fibroil so far.
Okay, could you stress more on your experiences and journey you have gone through, or any sort of challenges, or some different experiences which you have attained in a startup setup?
See, my experience has been amazing, and the opportunities, the platform to contribute and add values at the various levels. While working at a startup like Fireball Hill, I have seen a transformation our journey on how we grown and various responsibilities which we all undertaken on the way. It helped me to grow personally, financially, emotionally, and socially also, and able to connect better, able to look at the problem solving approach, and I don't give up usually. Working at a startup makes you a strong fighter that we should not give up. And personally, I feel that me, after working with this startup Fibro Hill, and remembering how we started and where we are today in a 7 years of journey. The journey has been wonderful, and I am glad to happy that I took this journey.
Good to know this from you. Also, I like to know the growth prospects in a startup setup versus a well-established company setup.
See, one words about the growth prospect in startup is unlimited, and I have personally experienced and seen it. You have to wear multiple caps, and when situation demands, you may add value across functions. We communicate to R&D, production department directly, which I think we don't get a chance to meet in a big established companies, and we get a chance to interact with these persons, our R&D department, our production department, and our suggestions are implemented also. I can give my example itself, where I started my small territory from Delhi, and today I'm leading a whole North India. and more than a dozen people reporting me. So compensation has grown more than 4 times, and my satisfaction level is 10 times more. And that I have added and have contributed in growth journey of Fibro Hill. I am thankful to Fibro Hill and senior leaders for giving me a chance in early and helping me to live up to my true potential. I knew Vivek Misra sir personally, as I am my employee number 3, and BT sir, Bharat Tandon sir, and their style is trusting people and giving it more, giving it a long rope, and which I also included in me today. We are reaping benefits, and our work culture is truly amazing. Considering all that, startup holds wonderful growth opportunities, and people who wants to do something big in society and create an impact should be a part of a startup, and it's a growth journey.
It's so good to know
Um,
all of this growth prospects in a startup from you. And basically, this coming directly from a person working in a startup would mean a lot for the public, because it would actually helps freshers, because once you complete the degree, it becomes very confusing for the fresher to go for a well established company or renowned company, or to go for a startups. Generally freshers are reluctant to join startups initially in their career, but coming this valuable thoughts from you, I think it would help the freshers and different degree holders to push themselves in a startup setups and face new challenges, gain more experiences. As you mentioned that you joined as third employee and now you're leading the entire team, so one can have a very good example of growth from this particular instance. So I really like to thank you, Mr. Pranab, for taking your valuable time and giving us this information about
and I have one suggestion which I would like to give is startup are wonderful place to be, and growth prospects are immense. But look at the leadership, their background, working style, and culture. So startup is very good for personal growth and all those things which I discussed. So this is all my journey.
Thank you so much for giving us takeaway message as well. So I think this would benefit all the degree holders, freshers, and not even freshers, but other people who are likely to switch their career from a company to a startup. So I like to thank you, Mr. Pranab, for sharing your thoughts with us, and I wish you a very great day ahead.
Thank you.